So, over the past week, it has been a thing in San Diego. San Diego Comic Con has been happening. And of course with that happening there's been lots of announcements, and there's been so many announcements I've fallen in love with. I thought I'd do a top 5, whatever the title says. And they're not ranked or anything, it's just 5 things I loved about Comic Con this year. And number 1 is obviously the fact that Doctor Who went, which they didn't go last year I'm pretty sure, and then of course the year before that was the 50th. And that was a bad time because people were leaking the trailers. They realised if they just give us the stuff shortly after, we won't worry about leaks. And oh my gosh, Series 9 looks terribly dark. And not terribly in a bad way, terribly in a good way. Whereas I sort of felt like Series 8 was just dipping its toes in the darkness. And, you know, holding itself, because it was a brand new Doctor, it was a sort of brand new dynamic. They wanted to have families on board by still keeping that sort of kiddie humour. Which wasn't a bad thing, I enjoyed Series 8 immensely, but this series just go full-blown darkness. But, of course, trailers do wonderful things with stuff. That was great phrasing. And of course it might just turn out to be just constant humour. And I haven't caught up with the Doctor Who panel because I don't usually enjoy them too much because it's not the same as being there. Next is obviously LEGO Doctor Who Dimensions, which is amazing. If I was doing this in an order, that would be number 1. I did not expect what was in that trailer. It looks like the biggest game for LEGO I've seen. There's also some screenshots. There's one that has like the Crack and Bad Wolf and like Cybermen, and there's just these little hidden Easter eggs, and I just expected LEGO to make a generic space thing with the Doctor thrown in, which I know was a stupid thing when you think about the amazing detail and care taken for the Star Wars games, but this is just an expansion pack onto an already massive game, so I didn't really expect it to be as exciting as it is. And of course then they, you know, announced before Comic Con that Peter Capaldi, Jenna Coleman and Michelle Gomez were actually going to do the voices. And I wasn't. Blah.
You've got a bunch of monsters to meet.
The problem, of course, is that LEGO Dimensions in general is $170 in Australia, and then the main Doctor Who expansion pack, which isn't a bad thing, is only $50. That's pretty good for, you know, an entire game by the looks of the amazing trailer. And then to get the Dalek and the Cybermen, it's another $25. But I'll probably buy it anyway. Number 3. Or the announcement for toys! And you may not know, I'm a massive fan of the Marvel Legends and a lot of the amazing figures from the Marvel line, as well as some of the DC ones. There was these big announcements for the new Marvel Legends line, and we got Spider-Gwen, which is amazing. If any of them, I'll be getting that one. I know this is probably boring for some of the Doctor Who fans, but this is just what I enjoyed about Comic Con. And in the DC line, we found out we're going to get like a new Arrow figure to have better articulation in the arm, so he's actually going to be able to aim and fire. Well, specifically Black Canary this time, and Reverse Flash. Annoyingly, we didn't get another look at the Diggle and Felicity figures, which would have been fun and nice, but unfortunately not. Also a proper look at the Malcolm Merlin, the John Barrowman figure, and I'm so happy. All of those Flash and Arrow figures look amazing. Also there's Heatwave, which didn't look that great. And then of course there were the Doctor Who 5.5-inch figure announcements. And whilst yes, sorry about the closeness, but it'll make sense. Whilst most Doctor Who fan figure collectors I've always referred to it as the 5-inch wave. Technically, it's always been 5.5-inch. And excitingly, we'll be getting, which we sort of already knew, 4 Peter Capaldi figures, a polka dot one, which is the one I really want to get, a maroon sort of purpley shirt from like Robots of Sherwood, a black shirt from Time Heist, my favourite episode and I forgot, as well as the sort of normal white shirt one. Hopefully, which is the image you can see right now, it's a prototype because it's a bit you need the black cardigan. And then there's a Tom Baker, like a curator figure, with a lenticular Gallifrey Falls No More figure painting thing, as well as, the most important thing, a new TARDIS for the 5-inch range. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to have much money. Number 2, or number 3, 4. They announced Arrow's finally going to get a new costume, and it looks amazing. It's basically what the Green Arrow should look like. And along with that announcement picture, which I love, they've also revealed, well, just to the audience of Comic Con, Stephen Amell came out in the new costume. And he had this big, amazing speech, which at times felt like it was just off Stephen's mind, and it worked so well. And for some, Season 3 was a bit of a letdown, and he, you know, said, "You've come with me this far, keep coming with me."
All of you have come with us this far, and I would ask you to come just a little bit
And it felt like a sort of apology for season 3, which is great. I enjoyed season 3 anyway, but it's good to know they sort of acknowledge that it wasn't up to the standards of season 1 and 2. I'll put in here that I do acknowledge Batman vs Superman and Suicide Squad did get stuff, but I'm not too excited. The trailers looked okay, Suicide Squad less so, and Suicide Squad is the one I'm more excited for. The trailer felt a bit bland, it felt like there was no build-up, it might have just been the song choice. For some reason I felt like, what's that modern song? Op Shop or something. No, 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 no. I feel like that song would have sounded cool in the trailer. It would have, you know, had, you know, in Guardians where they have the extra drum beats on significant moments, the dun 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 dun. Like, it would have looked cool. I just thought it was a bit boring. And Batman vs Superman, you know, having Lex Luthor and the Joker in there, it's going to feel a lot more like a bigger movie, which all the other ones sort of just felt like, this is Batman universe, this is the Superman universe, but this one, I can see they're trying to pull it together. Other thing, because it's not the number one, Lego Dimensions would have been number 1, was of course Star Wars. They didn't even need to show a trailer. That behind the scenes footage is just breathtaking. You know, it was great, just the landscapes. I was expecting 3 minutes of just clipboards going. We got to see all the old cast. Finally, we got, you know, Peter Mayhew, Anthony Daniels finally made an appearance. Carrie Fisher was finally just fully in the trailer. Harrison Ford. We still don't get to see Luke Skywalker in his clothing. Not Mark Hamill wasn't sitting there just talking naked. But yes, Star Wars. I want that movie on my... I'm putting it in the camera, I don't want it on the camera. They don't really need to show anything more than what they've shown. The trailers, the 2 teaser trailers, were outstanding. That behind the scenes footage was brilliant. I think they can just stop there and I'll wait till December. That's a lie. There was a great Flash sort of recap thing and then they announced Zoom. But yes, that's Comic-Con in a nutshell. Ow.
What the shit? That's the coolest thing ever!